13 points clear, ladies and gents. 13 points clear. Even when Celtic slip up, even when we stumble, the other team managed to fuck it, which is great. 13 points clear, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another edition of our wee kind of weekly live stream Q&A things. I need an actual title for these. I need like a name. 10 are given to somebody that comes up with a good name for this kind of series. I don't know what to call it. I want to get that proper like desk and mics and such and have it like in a live studio doing this. I love this kind of shit. But it's nice to see y'all. We're going to have some conversation. We're going to catch up. Obviously, I wasn't here yesterday. I didn't get to do a match review, match reaction. Get into the reason why in a moment. So yeah, kind of catch up on yesterday's game. Celtic's, you know, only the third time in the league this season Celtic have dropped points, which by match day 33 is, I can't believe we're saying that. So we'll talk about that and the ramifications of said draw. And then we're also going to touch a little bit on today and Rangers losing Aberdeen. Liam Scales, the Celtic player, scoring one of the maddest goals you're going to see all season. Is it class? Is it a fluke? I'll let you determine it. But do you know what? The Who's That Tick tune, I'll get it on the next podcast. The next one we're playing Who's That Tick, I'll get it on. It has to become a staple on the channel. Thank you for the donation, Beam88 or BM88. I don't know. Beam I'm going with. I have a great affiliation with Aberdeen. I think after today, we all have a great affiliation with Aberdeen. Yeah, so Celtic dropped points yesterday, but we managed to extend the gap. Cal, pleasure, mate. I hope to bump into you again soon. It was a pleasure to meet you too. Yeah, I mean, the title's done. It didn't matter. Even if we lost yesterday, I would have cared, but I wouldn't have panicked. I wouldn't have said, oh, you know, we're in a bit of bother. But the fact that we drop points and we give Rangers this opportunity to at least try and close the gap a little bit and to at least kind of bring some dignity back to the points gap, they go out and lose. And I think it just speaks volumes about the difference in the two teams at this moment in time. This was the same set of... Well, not all. I don't once again. I hate generalising, right? But there are a lot of social media Rangers fans were giving it the whole, oh yep, oh that's the gap's going down, yada yada. This the next thing, bang, back it up in the park. Have they not learned a thing? Even the players. I say it the same thing as the players, and it goes for the fans as well. Wait. Just wait, back up what you're saying. Stop talking. It's like Tavernier every time he comes out and says, oh, the next derby is going to be, it's going to be different. We're gonna show them in the next derby. And then they get fucked. They get absolutely fucked. And they don't learn. And it's the same with social media supporters and all. So I will get into it all. We'll talk about it. 2 very quick shout outs to the donations, by the way. I really do appreciate it. And just jumper, $7 Canadian. Thank you. No question. Just love the channel. Champions again. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. Sunday questions. That's like, is that a thing? I don't know. And thank you, Craig, as well. Very much appreciated. £10 donation to the channel with a super sticker. So thank you. We'll try and get into everybody's questions and such tonight, so stick around. We'll have a good laugh with it all. So I need to offer my very quick explanation as to why I didn't do a video yesterday after the game. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably... I don't have Twitter back yet, so I wouldn't have been able to update you on Twitter. And I don't think I mentioned... I might have... Actually, if you watched the podcast, you'd have heard why as well. But if you've not got me on Instagram and you didn't watch the podcast, maybe wondering, where's Ryan? Where's Ryan with his match reaction, especially because we dropped points? Ryan's not popping up after a draw. Has he chucked it? No, I was at the races yesterday. I was at the Scottish Grand National. So I actually wasn't at the Celtic game. Terrible from me. I know I should have my priorities. Celtic is the priority. But it's the one day of the year you get to go down to the races. And yeah, it sadly fell on the same day. And bumped into a good few Celtic fans down there. Were saying the same thing. Just shame that it fell on the same day sort of thing. And we picked the game to miss. It's either that or we jinxed it, one of the two. So shout out to everybody I bumped into yesterday, especially the boys for Kelly, who are brand new, all of them. I don't know if anyone will be watching this stream, but shout out to them and shout out to everybody I bumped into. That's the reason I didn't get any video up. But we're back. We're here today. All I've got to see is the highlights. I've not got to see the game the whole way through. So I'm really relying on you guys to give me your thoughts on yesterday's game, really. From what I have seen, seen. Let's talk about a couple of things in the game. We went at our best. It was probably one of our lesser performances of the season. I don't think we had a consistent run in the game. I think it was very patchy. And as Ange touched on, I think we lacked a lot of composure that we would normally have. You look back on the highlights, and when it came to chances and it came to making chances and finishing chances, it just wasn't quite there. It was like there was it's like subconsciously it looked as though nerves were affecting the team for whatever reason yesterday, because it wasn't an occasion to be feared and there wasn't to be anything nervous about, but I feel like just when it got to the final third, we just had this nervy side to us rather than the cutting edge that we normally would, and obviously that gets very sort of, I don't know the word to use, because it just gets very, it gets kind of proven in the second half when you look at chances like, the header chance, the one with Vata's fantastic cross. It was a weird one. Good first half, slow second. Slow second, same old, says Dylan. Can't read. Thanks, Dylan. Get a few of your comments, and I want to see. Let's see. Awata was good. I've seen a couple of people saying Awata had a good game yesterday. Your man Haxa didn't have a good game. Nobody did really. O should have scored. Vata looked good. From the highlights, Vata did look good. And then once again with the Haxa thing, we touched on this in the podcast on Friday night when we put that up, or Friday afternoon. The thing with Haxa is, I love him to bits, and I'm not, this is nothing, but I hate seeing him on the right-hand side. He is a left-sided player, and it's annoying because you can't drop Maida at this moment in time. He's just been brilliant this season, but I just think that Haxa looks so much more like the player we know he is when he's playing in the left rather than the right. Because even when I didn't see the whole game, obviously, but even when I was watching it on the highlights, and it was a lot of Haxa's stuff was coming through the right-hand side. The one thing it was brilliant from Haxa, though I've seen it and I've watched it multiple times, is his ball to Maida in that first half. The one that Maida, I don't think it's the one he throws himself into the post. But it's a ball through, and it's bloody marvellous. It really is. So yeah, that was really good. But yeah, O should have scored, absolutely. And I'm going to talk about O very, very soon. Craig, who donated earlier, said, from 70 minutes onwards, Motherwell players dived about more than Kent. I thought there was a sniper in the stands. So what you do, though, when you're holding on to a point at Parkhead, I hate seeing it, but I don't blame them, because you want to slow down the game. And we considered it a very kind of annoying point in the game, quite early in the second half, and I think it kind of stagnates things, and some players maybe get a wee shock and stuff like that. So yeah, this is the first time this season the squad isn't too deep. Injuries definitely played a factor yesterday. Absolutely, I think that we are feeling that a little bit, but we still should be winning these games, I suppose. But yeah, a lot of comments flying in right now in regards to yesterday's game. I'm trying to get everybody's sort of opinions to everything. We were bang average, didn't deserve to win or lose, says Glasgow Rebel. Fair assessment of the game. A lot of people giving the praise to Awata it deserves. It seems to be most people's man of the match. DM McDonald, a regular on these streams, says missed Jota and Hatate big time yesterday, lacked that sharpness. Even at half time, it did feel like it had one all written all over it. Yeah, I must say, and I'm going to touch on Kevin Van Veen's goal for a little bit here. He takes it really well. I think Taylor has to do a bit better, but it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because we are sold. We've got so many men up the park. Motherwell hit really well on the counter, and Taylor is left to deal with it by himself. Yeah, he could have probably done better, but it's a difficult one because you're the last man. And if you make a mistake, you could be sent off. And if you make a mistake without being sent off, you're probably going to send him through one-on-one. So he does try his absolute best. But it's some finish from Van Veen, to be fair. And he's a quality player, Van Veen. He deserves credit. He's a good striker. He's had a brilliant season. What's that? He's on to like 13 goals this season, something like that. He's been brilliant. Brilliant finish. And he left Joe Hart with no chance, really. He tucked it away so well. And look, we didn't really come back from that. We didn't really dig in deep enough to come back from that, and it was disappointing, as Ange said in his post-match press conference. Let's get a few more, a few things. Motherwell were playing for a draw. Shame we didn't get to 18 wins in a row, but the result doesn't look as bad after the Rangers result today. Champions again, says Ewan. So we'll come on to the Rangers game and such soon, but let's talk about the ramifications, obviously, of drawing this game. We're now in a bit of a difficult situation when it comes to breaking all these records. We made a video on Monday talking about will Celtic break these records. It was like 106 points as the record for the points tally, the goals tally, and the wins tally as well. Now, the wins one, the wins won and the points won now is the kind of case where we need to win every single game if we want to beat these records now, basically. The goals one, I'm still confident we'll end up beating. But in terms of, and it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, these are, at the end of the day, what matters is winning and the trophies, and that's what matters. But if people who are, very kind of, they like breaking records, and everybody likes to break a record now and then, they'll obviously be a bit on edge now, because we need to win every game, I think. We had to win 5 of the last 6, I believe. But obviously now we need to win all 5. We don't have the chance to drop any points, because we've done it against Motherwell. I think a lot of people maybe anticipated to do that at Ibrox if any game, but it's happened against Motherwell. So if we want to break these records, then we have to win every game from now to the end of the season. But I really don't care. It would be nice. It'd be a lovely bonus, and it would kind of be all the toppings that you need to show how good this Celtic side is, and it would go down in the history books as maybe the best domestic side since the Lisbon Lions. If not, for some it already has, but maybe you'd have a bit more proof in the pudding to suggest it is if we broke those records. At the end of the day, though, I don't really care. What I care about is the trophy. We're 13 points clear. Yesterday we gave Rangers the chance. We opened the door slightly. It was slightly ajar for Rangers, and Aberdeen, the lovely sheepshaggers themselves, they shut the door on Rangers' face and left them looking silly. Rangers-Aberdeen. I didn't watch the Rangers-Aberdeen game. I was watching the Man United game in the semi-final of the FA Cup. So I can't really speak for both sides in terms of the 90-minute performance, but that's not what we're here for anyway. We're here to talk about the bigger picture, and we're here to talk about the fact that Rangers did drop points and lose. And it's kind of topped off what has just been a gorgeous season to observe from this side. To observe as a Celtic fan. Liam Scales, phenomenal. Brilliant goal. Put the nails in the coffin for them. But I just, and I don't want to get too ahead of myself, and I don't want to be, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek what I'm about to say. It's just kind of, it doesn't really, I don't think that Rangers fans who may or may not be watching this should read into it too much, and this is the kind of thing that could come back and haunt me and clip me. But right now, as it stands, and this is just and a Rangers fan would probably agree, the most level-headed Rangers fan, an unbiased Rangers fan will probably agree right now, as a Celtic fan, I'm sure you can understand, we are not worried of Rangers. I'm not worried of Rangers in whatever direction they're heading in as a club at this moment in time. I think that it's a team full of losers, full of players who have expired on their shelf life, and players who aren't willing to play for a team the size of Rangers. If half of these players were playing for Celtic, I'd be wanting them out the door. And I know a lot of Rangers fans are feeling like that right now, but I don't fear where they're heading. There needs to be significant change at Rangers for me to fear them. And next year, I could do my pre-season predictions just now, and I would be saying Celtic as it stands right now. And you wouldn't blame me. Listen, some things happen. The unexpected happened. Celtic weren't meant to win the league last season, yet we done it. Rangers could obviously do that, but just right now, I look at them and I'm like, I just think they're losers. I think they're serial fucking losers. Now, next week, they could all be laughing at me as they pap this out the Scottish Cup. That could potentially happen. It's going to be a tough game. Listen, this is all hypothetically speaking right now at this moment in time. We'll talk about it this week a lot on the channel. If Rangers were to go on to win the Scottish Cup, it would feel the exact same as last year. It would feel like nothing, and if anything, I like the thought of them getting all that kind of, we've won the cup, this is good, it's a good sign, I'll get their hopes up, and then and nothing changes. I don't want them to win the Scottish Cup, I'm not saying I like the thought of them winning the Scottish Cup, but if worse came to worse and they put us out, if they win it, do you know what I'm trying to say though? That's what I mean. It's like, I'm confident Celtic can go and win a treble this season, and I hope we do. But a Scottish Cup for me would probably help disguise the problems that lie deeper down at Rangers at this moment in time. So I just think they're serial fucking losers at this moment, and that doesn't change. What my ultimate point is, if they beat us next week, it doesn't change that. They're still serial losers, and I think that all the Rangers fans who are level-headed understand that. There's so many, if Celtic done that today, I'd be fuming. Celtic done that plenty of times, didn't they? Not plenty of times. They didn't do it at all, because Rangers didn't lose back in the COVID season. But it was when we had that COVID season. If there was a chance for us to close the gap and then we bottled it, I was fuming. I was wanting players out. I was wanting the manager out. And today, as if Celtic were to be if the shoe was in the other foot and Celtic get the chance to close the gap, and they bottled it against Aberdeen. Aberdeen, who are playing well, to be fair, they worked hard for the result. They deserved the result. But I'd be fucking fuming. I'd be livid. I'd be boiling at the thought of the team going out there and not looking like they care enough. So we're still 13 clear, which is just hilarious. I love that. £5 donation from Gareth. Thank you very much. Records, to be honest, I doubt that any Celtic side will ever eclipse the Invincibles with regards to Celtic teams that have or that will exist in my lifetime. Wow. That's Gareth's opinion. Thank you for the £5, Gareth. You know, yeah, that's a topic we'll come to if records are broken, I suppose. Let's get a few of your points and then we'll get on to the general Q&A, because I've basically covered everything that I wanted about these two games. Let's get a couple of things that I said about today's result. Scales, yeah. Seen it was a Scales cross, fuck's sake, miles away. Brilliant. It was fantastic. You know, I've not listened to any of the press conferences or anything like that, the post-match interviews, so I don't know if he's got to claim that he meant it or not, but it's still brilliant. Like, McGregor's off his line, you may as well go for it. If it's an accident, then fair play. Hello, Chef Di, lovely to see you, mate. He said, just finished watching the FA Cup semi-pens, hoping it won't come down to pens next week. Hart is awful at saving them, and we don't have the numbers that can take pens. Absolutely, I agree. It's almost resemblant to Manchester United today, in fact. De Gea, useless with penalties. Terrible at saving penalties. Can't do it. I'd be better in goals. And then United's depth. I mean, Lindelof, for example, was taking the winning penalty. Christ, imagine we had Starfelt step up to hit like the match deciding penalty. You'd be shitting yourself. So, let's see. To be fair, what you're alluding to did happen quite a few times in Lennon's first spell. Yeah, exactly. Take your mind back a wee bit. I was trying to keep it more recent, but absolutely, yeah. It did. I remember Lennon's kind of first spell at the club, stuff like that happening, and it's just always frustrating. And that's when it's moments like that you've got, and that's why I'm saying I'm not worried about Rangers at this moment in time and where they're heading, because there's just so much there that why should I worry about that team? Why should that team fear me? They're bottlers, they're losers, they're idiots, they're children, a lot of them. And I don't mean by age, because some of them are fucking 40-year-old and they're children. You know who I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah. Let's go on to the Q&A then. We've spoke about everything that's happened over the past couple of days in regards to my thoughts and my opinions. So I may as well bring you guys in and get involved. By the way, over 600 live viewers at this moment in time. Honestly, thank you for that. Incredible. Make sure to hit like if you haven't already. Gets the content shared out there. And if you haven't, for whatever reason, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, we'll get back in there. I love that comment, Pat. Young players can't wait us 25 for fuck's sake, getting the free bus pass. Brilliant. Right, let's get your questions and thoughts. It can be in relation to anything. It can be about today, yesterday, in the future, anything at all. Just Celtic related, ideally. I don't mind. I like a wee bit of chat here and there on different things. Oh! Have you pardon the pun? That's great, but keep putting them in. Spam it if you really want me. Don't spam it, but you know what I mean. Keep reminding me it's there if you really want me touching something. Cal has reminded me of the last thing I wanted to talk about in regards to yesterday and the game and everything else, and that is yeah, listen, I see that there's been a reaction. I'm not on Twitter, obviously, at the moment. I'm still locked out, so I kind of see things here and there, not like I normally would. But I see that there's been a Twitter reaction that, it's not good enough. Giakoumakis should never have been let go, and yada, yada, yada. The usual. Wrap it up, man. Just, the boy's been here 5 minutes, and 2 weeks ago he was the best player on the fucking planet after he scored. I hate this reaction that we need to have with everybody and everything now. And I said the same thing to Ryan McGinley on the opposite side of this. Because Ryan McGinley sat in the podcast and I got annoyed. I bit at McGinley for saying it. McGinley said something like, do they think he's better than Giakoumakis or something like that. And I was sitting there on the podcast and I had my head in my hands. I was just like, you know, no offence, McGinley, if you're watching this. You might be, I'm not sure. And this isn't just it. This is just people in general. I'm like, can we not just give patience and time a chance? You know what happened? We'd never need to overreact to somebody's amazing or bad. They've been here 5 fucking minutes. You know what I mean? Like, he is a good player, and he's shown that. He had a poor game yesterday, missed a good chance. Yeah, doesn't mean he's wrote off. And also, when he scores, we don't need to build him up to be Jesus Christ himself. Let's just enjoy it. Let's just enjoy it. Watch him play football, you know? And yeah, give opinions. And yeah, rate them and whatever. But we don't need overreactions on any side. You know what I mean? We don't need like people being the best thing since Jesus, and then we don't need the worst thing since, I don't know, cholera. You know what I mean? We can have a nice middle ground, and it just annoys me. That was the last thing I wanted to say, because I just feel like people don't learn their fucking lessons. Like, you know, this year Matt O'Reilly was, he's not good enough. He's chucked it. He's chucked it. This, that, and the next thing. And then fucking, you know, it's just annoying. Yeah, Emma, thanks. £2, thank you, appreciate that. The best thing since Larson, absolutely. He's top of the charts, isn't he, Emma? Yeah, thank you. I do appreciate all the donations. Anyway, I want to see, I don't know if people are, the reaction to the result yesterday was so over the top. Our fan base are such a fickle bunch. People try to find fault in everything. Same last week. Folk complain about it. Say, yeah, like, this is, see if we don't win next week. I can't be arsed. I'm enjoying, do you know what? I must admit, if you have not tried it, lads, I'm loving this wee ghost life. You know, I've not been on Twitter barely at all. I've got my wee backup burner account thing, and I'll go on it to see the news. And if anything's happened, I'll look for the talking points. It's nice. It's actually nice not having, like, all these overreactions in your face constantly. You know what I mean? And that's, you're right, we are a fickle bunch, and we can be. I'm fickle. Everybody's fickle. All Celtic fans are fickle. But it's just breathe, man. Enjoy the football. That's all you have to do. Anyway, that's my rant over. Right, here we go. Right. Yeah, no, I agree. I see people, like, I see TJ in there. The comments flew off my screen just as I was about to bring it up. But yeah, he's missed a couple of great opportunities in front of goal, absolutely. But he's also scored a couple of great goals. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there comes a time where you write someone off. It's not now. You know what I mean? Like, you know when to write somebody off. Anyway, right. Okie doke. Oh, thank you, Gareth. I appreciate that. Love that. Thank you. £11.20. It's a very weird thing. Is there a meaning behind the 11.20, Gareth? But I appreciate it nonetheless. So an absolute hero. Thank you for that. He says, patience, time, give it a chance. Do you not remember when Ange came in? He'll be off by Christmas. Also love seeing Agent Scales knocking Alan McGregor off his Zimmer frame. Absolutely, yeah, exactly, isn't it? The whole, yeah, that's the thing. Look at like how patience was a virtue with Ange, and now look at us living at large because we were patient. So be patient with players, lads. Thank you, Gareth. I appreciate the comment. I appreciate the donation. Right, let's get your thoughts and questions and everything in. Let's go 10 minutes. We'll put a time limit of 10 minutes on. We're having a Q&A. We're talking about anything. You can ask me what I like on a kebab or, I don't know, my favourite porn star. Ask anything you want. Let's see. Your nose looks itchy. Can I scratch it? Yes, Lubo. Feel free. All will come good, says Ross. I believe so as well. And listen, I don't even think he needs to necessarily come good. You know, all in good time. All in good time. I think he's already good enough. Anyway, right, let's get thoughts on Falkirk. I don't want to offend the people of Falkirk, but it's probably the same as most people's opinions of Falkirk, to be honest. Champions League campaign next season. We'll get there. We'll see. Depends on who we draw. Am I off to the semis next week? I am. Besides, we're in the semis. I'm there. I've got my ticket. I got drawn again. I've not missed people will hate me if I say this out loud. Fan media privilege and all that. No, genuinely, I've not missed a ballot yet. Thank God. I keep saying it's got to be this one. It's got to be this game. It's got to be the next game. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm going to miss the draw. I'm going to miss the ballot. But no, I'm running well. 7 years. And I've not missed a ballot yet. Loving that. So yes, will you be going to the Women's Cup final? It'll be good to see a decent crowd. It'll be giving them some boost. We were actually talking about that in the group chat today. We might go. Might get myself a ticket. It would be good to go out and support the girls. And Fran, of course. So yeah, maybe we're talking about it. Might go myself anyway. But aye. Let's see what else. Is this the best Celtic team of my lifetime? It might be. It might be. Is it my favourite? Probably is. Is it the best? It's always a weird question because no, it's not the best, right? You put it up against Martin O'Neill's Seville side, which got to a UEFA Cup final. That's the best. But I always find it weird calling that my lifetime. I was free. I don't remember a fucking thing. So I never really consider the O'Neill era as my lifetime. Like I go from Strachan onwards. That's when I started actually understanding football. So technically I would say yes, but well, technically I would say no, it's not. But I would say yeah, probably. You know what I'm trying to say. Mario movie, it's stupendous, unbelievable, a classic. Honestly, and I mean, I'm not being amazing. 5 stars, one of my favourite films I've seen in a long time. Big Mario fan growing up, so it really hit me in all the right places. But oh, brilliant. Somebody's asked a big question. So who is your favourite? Well, oh, we've got to sit down and analyse this, haven't we, boy? We gotta get the share screen up. John, I don't want banned. Ah, brilliant. Good laugh. I'm not answering the question. It's not that Joe Hart picture behind you. Well, Big Joe would be a cracking actor. He's got the look, hasn't he? Brilliant. Let's get off the topic of porn stars, man. There's children watching these streams. Can you believe they sacked that quote-unquote club legend who took them to the Europa League final and won the Scottish Cup just to replace him with the Moley one? I love that, the Moley one, Mark. Listen, I just don't believe anything that's going on at Rangers at the minute. And I always say this. I hate the Celtic fans who go on social media and make a rip-roaring cunt of themselves when they just want to talk about Rangers and they just want to slag. Well, I want to slag Rangers all the time, but you know what I mean. The pure annoying ones, and they're just obsessed. You could say I don't like it, and I don't really come on here to talk about Rangers all that often. But when I do talk about Rangers, I try to be as level-headed, fair, and analytical about it as I can. And right now, genuinely just speaking from a neutral point of view, not being a Celtic fan, Rangers Football Club is in a mess. And I don't know where they're heading. I don't know what the direction is. Douglas Park's just stepped down. They're issuing shares left, right and centre. They're getting taken to court over, what is it, Hummel? Are taking them to court. They're publishing profits, but they're not spending it. The players they're bringing in aren't good enough. I just think as a general, and honestly, not my Celtic glasses on here. My green tinted specs are off. I just look at them and I don't know where they're going. If they were to publish a mission statement tomorrow, I don't know what it would say. I really don't fear them, and I don't know what's happening at Rangers. So none of their decisions really surprise me at this moment in time. Anyway, I've had to skip a good portion of the chat because there were so many messages coming in. So if you really want me to answer your questions, just feel free to put them in. Put them in again if you want. Thank you, Ian, an absolute legend, a regular on this channel. Thank you for the donation, mate. Appreciate it. And just coming in, feel free, join us. Great result. You're right, Ian. You're right. But thank you for coming in. It's nice to see you as always, mate. Yeah. Let's see. Exactly. What have they done since they've sacked Gio? Listen, any other year, the direction they're going to end the season in points wise would probably win them a league title. They've had a cracking domestic season. Let's be real, they have poor result today, but overall, any other year, you'd be happy with 79 points with 5 games to play. But it's not good enough, and they're constantly behind us, and everything else is just, I just don't see this progression that should be there for big changes. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the summer. I was watching Sky Sports News yesterday, and Bill was on and he was talking about how in the summer he gets to put a proper stamp on this team and make it his own, which is a fair enough thing to say. I mean, I think he talks shite, Bill, quite frankly, but it's a fair enough thing to say. You know, this will be his first summer. It's a chance to build a team, and then maybe we will see work in progress at Rangers. But do I think it's going to come? No. And I genuinely don't think it's a Bill problem or a Van Bronckhorst problem or a Gerrard problem or a Mark Warburton problem. I think it's a Rangers problem. That's my honest assessment of it all. I just think that there's a lot of things that need to be fixed at that club from head to toe before they start showing the results in the park and start winning the trophies to back it all up, what they try and say. I think that the whole club's in a bit of a mess. Anyway, enough talking about them. Best place to get pizza? Good question. What is my favourite pizza? I love an Indian pizza, you know, like Ali's and Shettleston. Cracking pizza. Do you know what? There's a cracking pizza. Spice Boys in Swinton, up beside Easterhouse Station. There's a cracking pizza, Cal. I don't know if you're anywhere near Swinton. I can't remember exactly where you stay again, but it's a cracking pizza in there. Seen somebody complimenting. Thank you, Reese. Thank you. I love this year's top. Hopefully they have some fucking luck and they can win the treble. They're big bottling bastards, Dortmund. you know what they're like. God, so many comments, by the way. We've almost 700 viewers as well. I can't appreciate this enough, lads. Let's try and get a few of these questions in. Oh, God. Let's see. We'll keep my score predictions for the semis until the content this week leading up to it. I can't give it away yet. I've got to keep you on edge, you know? Yeah, I suppose it's a good point, Donny. It's a good point. He was there for a long time. But, you know, it's any excuse, I suppose. You know, who's the most wasted player on the beach? On the beach, I don't know. Don't know who likes the beach in our team. You know, a lot of yeah. What do you make of Aberdeen's rise and Hearts' fall? Wow, good question, Cameron. Because I actually really wanted to talk about Barry Robson a little bit. He's looking promising, isn't he? I've always been very, very cautious and very honest in my thoughts in clubs appointing caretakers in Scotland. I think it's cheap, I think it's lazy, and I don't think it works. But Barry Robson, not because he played for Celtic, I look at him and I look at the team and I look at what he says and what they do, and I genuinely believe it with him. I don't think it's just a money-saving option if they appoint Barry Robson as manager. I see potential in Barry Robson. I think he'll be a good coach. And if he keeps doing well at Aberdeen, you know, where his career, the sky's the limit sort of thing. There's a good way for him to go, I think. And I think he could be a really good appointment for them. The rise has been brilliant with 7 wins in the bounce. That's outstanding. Hearts, on the other hand, collapsing, crumbling. You love to see it. I hope it continues. Fuck you and Budge. No, I'm joking. But, well, no, I'm not joking. But, aye. Pretty weird Hearts' fall. Nielsen's gone, no, and that's all that fucking matters. Let's see. What brand of boxers do I have? I'm sitting in my boxers right now. Tommy Hilfiger. That's I don't know why that's a question, but thank you, Fastly. Well, you're having a good one in the chat tonight, aren't you? Both. Let's get a couple more. We'll try and rapid fire 5 more questions. And then we'll wrap it up there for today, I think. A lot of questions about a new keeper. Ryman 18 touts Barry Robson to succeed Big Ange. That won't age well. Well, listen, I didn't say well, I'm not saying no, though. I'm joking. But yeah, I genuinely like what I see with Barry Robson. I do. I like what they're doing as a team. I like how he speaks. I think he'll be a good coach. I think he'll go far. I really do. A lot of questions on positions that need strengthened in next season. I've seen one that was brought in by Craig as well, saying where do we need to strengthen for Europe. I think off the top of my head, I'd like next year goalkeeper, centre half, full back, and a right winger. That's the 4 positions that come to mind straight away. Thoughts on Black Rooster, quality scran. Where is Phil Smith? Where is Phil? Where is he? Why is he not here? Phil, where are you? Actually, never noticed that, Max. Oddly peaceful without him, but it's never the same without him, so we need him here. How'd you get on with your studies? We'll wait and see. Chris. Thank you for asking. You don't look like a Chris. That doesn't look like a Chris in the photo. But thank you, Chris. How'd I get on with my studies? I'll wait and see. Hopefully good. Everything's basically submitted now. One last wee thing to submit on Friday, and that's it, done for good. So we'll find out if I've got a degree in the next month or so. And I'll let you all know. Don't worry. You've all supported me along the way. You deserve to know. Well, I'll be watching the coronation. Of course. Wouldn't you miss it for the world? He says, ironically, or not ironically, sarcastically. That's the word I'm looking for. Right, a couple more. Loads of clubs will be in for Angus Gunn. Celtic won't stand a chance. Is Angus Gunn on the market? To be honest, I don't have opinions on Angus Gunn. I know he's a new Scotland number 1, but, you know, never really watched him, to be quite honest. I think that might do it for today. Thoughts on the emergency earlier. I tell you this, I'll finish up the stream. Obviously, that happened today at 3 o'clock. And I was sitting there, I was rough. We were at the races. Obviously, I never got into about 2 in the morning or whatever last night. And I was rough. I was just sitting there. I was like, damn, turning my phone off. Because I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered listening to this fucking sound. I had the Newcastle game on. I thought to myself, I'll turn off my phone. So I turned it off, and I heard my dad's going off down the stair. I heard the alarm. I was like, that's good, they've sent it out. So it was about 2 minutes past 3, and I turned my phone back on. And I checked the group chats, and a few of the boys were like, I've not had it. Well, my phone's fucked. I'm dead if the nuclear war starts because I'm not getting enough. I'm like, that's weird. I wonder how they never got it. 30 seconds later, bang, mine goes off. I shit my pants, and all the boys were like, oh, this mine just came through. So, it wasn't free on the button for everyone. And I thought I would have missed it because I had my phone off. No, I did not. I shit my drawers. So I got a great fucking laugh out of that. But yeah, that'll do it for today. We'll go from there. We'll be back on the channel all week leading up to the derby, of course, on Sunday. So make sure to keep an eye out for the content. We'll have a podcast up later in the week and all that jazz. And hopefully we have some news over the next couple of days as well. So yeah, thank you everybody. Like and subscribe. We'll have another live stream through the week as well to keep you all happy. I enjoyed this tonight, right?